the way I'm reaching out to us this moment. My name is, I'm sure you see my name everywhere. I'm intentional about this topic today, and it's going to be on for a very long time, as long as I have my breath and I'm given the privilege. Please, I want this episode to be engaging because the issue of raising a male child, training them, it's something that everybody is kind of quiet about. We raise our female children, we train them all over the world. There's a standard that is expected of a female child. They expect them to have a high moral standard, have manners, all-round beauty, spirit, soul, body, intellectual powers. A lot of expectations are out there for a female child. It's a matter of fact, we got to a place in our midst. I'm still going to be talking about the myth of raising a male child. We got this myth at the back of our minds that as far as a male child is concerned, he has to dominate, he has to be in charge, no feelings, no emotions. You don't cry like a girl, you're a boy, don't cry. It's becoming a thing that everybody think is right, and consciously or unconsciously we start to parent our male child, train them with the myth of you are a boy, boys don't cry, you repress your emotions, you don't express your feelings, the moment you are emotional you are weak. I've had men that say I'm not emotional, and I smile. God is emotional. If God is emotional, we are wired to be emotional. Such statements are born out of the myth of you have to be a macho man, you have to be strong, you don't have to be nice, you don't have to be sentimental. They use so many words, welcome everyone, to qualify how a male child is to be trained and to be nurtured and to be mentored. Because of that, we've seen a lot happening out there, while you see young men that are not well trained as a child becoming a subject of ridicule, shame, torture, drug addiction, sexual addiction, all sorts, because this myth is being passed down from generation to generation that men or boys, they are not supposed to have feelings, they're supposed to be macho, they have to be aggressive, they have to be mean, they have to be able to keep everything that is happening to them underneath. You don't show it, you don't let people see it. And that has brought us to where we are today. So I'm very, very intentional in teaching us on how to train our male child. Be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. God is gender blind. I am faith-based, so I'm going to be talking from the angle of the scriptures and what I see and what I believe and what I've discovered. By the grace of God, I'm a grandmother, so I understand to a greater extent. Fortunately for me too, I'm a mother of men, so I understand how men are wired. I wish I had known. I need to do that and say this today. I wish I had known this before, when I was raising my men. Probably, I'm grateful. I have amazing, wonderful men as children. Amazing, amazing. and I know what I'm talking about. But honestly, I wish I had known all of this. It would have been probably easier for me to do more than what I did. I'm still grateful because I was intentional and I raised them in the Spirit of God all the way. And I'm a very, very intentional person. Based on this fact, if I had known more than this, I would have had a better wisdom in handling and raising a male child. Training a male child, put it this way, let me put it this way. Number one, God, the creator of human being, is gender blind. In the image of God, he created he, them, both male and female. So no one is a lesser creature or creation than the other. Meaning that as far as God is concerned, God is not gender biased. And men were not created differently. When somebody is questioning that, let me explain this. God made man first. He made a woman from the man. But he said, in the image of God, he created he, them, both male and female. Meaning that they have been created in the image of God to perform different duties. So when it comes to performance of duty, put to bed, be pregnant, and all other things that a woman will do, it's just that the assignment was given separately, disseminated the assignment, but not that one is better than the other. We need to understand that. When we begin to get that to our minds, it will give us honor and will appreciate the fact that a male child, a female child should be trained and raised the same without any prejudice. We have to drop the myth, the traditional belief, the narrative, the things that has put our boys into serious trouble, having serious conflicts of who they are, whose they are. The issue of identity is becoming unbecoming because of this myth, the traditional belief, the set belief that is passed down from generation to generation. That is called a myth, a belief system. Because of that, it has made our parents growing up to train our boys different from girls. Practically speaking, you are given duties for house chores. You can never see the rota given to a male child to do the dishes and probably cook. I'm talking about the myth, the belief, the things we've done in error in raising our male children. You rather give them the chores to wash the cars, probably mow the garden, depending on where you live, go and farm, hard jobs, top jobs. Those feminine jobs, chores, is disseminated to the female gender. That is the beginning of the struggle. Laying on beds, washing clothes, doing other things is associated to female gender, meaning that you have to be a girl to wash the dishes, to clean the kitchen, to make breakfast or lunch or dinner. Recently, I'm going to be digressing back and forth, but I have a focus. As soon as I come back on this topic again, I will continue where I stopped. But I don't want to jump the gun. I want to let us take it naturally, let us take it as being led. Because if we don't do that, it's not theology, it's not, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to teach, I'm trying to make a point on this particular topic of training your boy child. So it's not going to be systematic as some of us thought. It's not a school of ministry. This is teaching with practical examples. Let me quickly digress and let everyone, if you're a male in the house, the Men's School of Ministry, we are resuming on the 21st of October, 6 weeks, solid teaching, men training school. I've had some sets in the past and it was amazing. They actually gave me an award. Men's School of Ministry, we are resuming on the 21st of October 2023, just for 6 weeks, Saturdays only, 12 to 4 p.m. all over the world. Distance is not a barrier. We're going to have Zoom classes. I'm just dropping that on the side. Now, coming back to how our guys are raised, the boy child is being raised by the myth of a belief system that a male child should not be in the kitchen. Chores are given to a female child. When it comes to cooking, other things that have to do with the kitchen, even some with the bedroom, it has to be for the female child, not the male. Because of that, we have issues on our table that we have to address. I've said it before and let me say it again. Men, you need to change this belief system, this myth that is making you as fathers to truncate the lives of your children emotionally, which your parents did, and it has cost you so much pain. It is error and it will be delicate and dangerous to hand over the baton to your children. It's only a fool that does the same thing the same way and expect a different result. We have to change the narratives. We have to stop some things and we have to be deliberate about it. We have to be intentional about it. We have to change this myth, this belief system of this is how a guy should be trained, this is what a male child should do, this is what a boy child should do, this is what a girl child should do. We need to change. If we refuse to change, we are going to be chained. If we refuse to change, we're going to go on with serious casualties, crises that some of us will not be able to handle. Recently, I had a program on, jackpot slang, people relocating, and it's becoming a great challenge for me handling men that had to go out of their comfort zone, Nigeria, Africa, to a country which you don't have helpers, you don't have parents that would help you to care for your kids, you don't have neighbors that would help you to take care of your kids, to have a maid, to get a nanny, you pay through your nose. The system is structured in a way that everyone has to do it themselves. DIY. Do it yourself. So most guys that goes with their spouses to probably the wife is the one schooling, or the husband is schooling, or the wife is schooling and he had to do some maybe 20 hours thereabout, and the husband is schooling He has to support, needing to support each other with the kids. It has become an ego thing. It has become a challenge, a great one, having to hear couples calling the cops on themselves, fighting each other because it is not manly to do chores. It is not manly to cook. It is not manly to warm the stew. We live in a system where here in Africa that you actually set the table for the king in his kingdom. But when you change location and you are living here, it is not so. The reason why I'm bringing it in this light to start with, I'm still talking about chores. There are so many things that is alarming, that is questioning, that has puzzled me in this training of your male child. Living in a culture that you have to set the table, do it, the king is coming, everybody is shaking. When you leave the chores of that comfort zone and you go to another place, bad habits die hard. It becomes a challenge, a great one, for men to adjust or to balance to the fact that you have to change diapers, you have to probably make the meal, mix your child's meal, or do something to put food on the table for your son, your daughter, your children. And it's like, I'm tired, I can't do it. Then you're asking yourself, but we both went to work. Now look at the contrast. When you are here in Africa, training your male child, the challenge I have is much more on this side of life, our culture, the myth, Africa, than that of other parts of the world, in all honesty. A male child outside our culture, I'm talking about Africans now, knows that chores has to be done. They started doing chores as young as they are, or they were. They started doing chores as young as they have to leave their homes at 16, 17, 18 is drumming into their heads, you have to leave this house. You are a man at 18, you are driving, you want to go. After uni, you are gone. So naturally speaking, the issue of chores and doing things is not a challenge for them. But for us, a male child is made to look like a small G god that everybody must worship and hero worship. And we teach it because the baton is passed down to us. If care is not taken, we are living in a culture now that even if you have mates and you are not sensitive, you are not alert, you don't have all ears, your mate can do what you don't want to hear or what you don't want to see to your kids. Recently, a maid took a sanitary pad, squeezed it, and almost putting the blood into the meal. Thank God for the camera. This is what I'm saying. It's scary, right? We have cases of maids that have killed or almost killed. Everything is, Google it, check everywhere. And this comes down to something. The chores are only given to the woman, to the girl child or female. You do everything. A man goes to work with his wife. I'm talking about our culture now. I'm still going to make it broad and wide, but I'm taking it one after the other. It's just 1 hour. After an hour, I'm gone. Come back again. Now, you both go to work in the morning, wake up maybe 6 a.m., depending on Africa now, or 5 thereabouts, get the kids ready, try to get their breakfast, get the school bag, probably busy, came late, went to church, to fellowship, came late, so the housework or homework is not done. Wake up in the morning, you are not doing your homework. So much tension in the atmosphere. The man is still sleeping till probably 6:30, and the woman is jumping everywhere, and there are kids being raised in that system. Boy child is growing in that system, seeing that daddy is not doing anything, mommy does everything, not to make it look bad, or let me put it this way, making it too terrible and horrible. A male child, a boy child, sits with his dad in the living room. Mom is trying to sort out things to get the children ready in the morning. I'm coming back to the dinner, and a male child, a boy child, is sitting there playing with the dad after the dad woke up around 7:30, and they are both going to resume probably at 8. They have to leave that house probably by 7 a.m. or thereabouts. And the message is being passed down to your male child, to your boy child, that you don't get involved in chores. It's only mommy and girl child that does all the chores. You are doing something to your male child or your boy child because of the myth that boys don't do certain things. It's not going to only affect you, it's going to affect that child. We are living in a generation. Somebody is trying to request your video. Okay, we'll look into that later. I don't mind us being interactive today. It's very important, and I'm not in a hurry. And I'm going to tell you one of the major reasons. One of them is what I'm saying now, having to deal with issues of families that are having serious conflicts. They are fighting, they are calling cops on themselves, and their kids are, giving proof and evidences that daddy actually eats mommy, and all of that. And when the questions are asked, is based on, he wants me to die. We both go to work. I can't die. He doesn't do anything. And I'm asking myself, whose fault? The myth, the tradition, the teachings, the cultures, and the things we are seeing is much more than, when your kids look at you, they actually don't listen to what you tell them. They watch you. You are their mirror. They dub you like Xerox. They copy you hook, line, and sinker. They take you as you are, nothing more. So you cannot tell your your son, your male child, to go and help mommy to do chores, and you are sitting there. You lead by example. The best training you can give to your boy child is to lead by example. To some is a paradox, but that is the truth. Fact. There are things you do that your kids don't. It will take another person with a strong influence, probably the mom, that will say, no, your dad is busy, your dad is a CEO, your dad is this and that, and explain to that boy child that dad is not involved. You have to be conscious, be intentional in telling your boy child that I am not doing this because I have to do this, but it is not the norm. It's not the normal thing to do. If you don't clear that, you are breeding trouble for the next generation and for the family that your boy child will raise. And it's tough to allow your kids to lose their homes because they were not well trained in handling matters that is supposed to be a foundational training or information to that child. I talked about going to work in the morning. What about coming back from work? Both of you went to work. Coming back home, your wife is thinking of, okay, what are we having for dinner? The homework is there. And you see a father of a male child sitting there doing nothing, maybe watching a movie or trying to read newspapers or listening to the news. Now we are even living in a world of people getting so addicted to their telephone. I discovered lately doing premarital counseling, and ladies that are planning to get married are complaining bitterly that their spouses is 24 hours on the phone. And it's like, so your telephone is also competing with your marriage, with your children. No phone break, no caution, nothing. What I'm saying now, you see, what makes a difference in the life of a man is the ability to project into the future. The future of this generation scares me as a person. I'm so bothered that, probably because on a consistent basis, daily basis, I receive text messages that makes me to ask myself, am I watching a movie or is this a reality? And I'm kind of puzzled. I have one. Please go and listen to my straight talk on Blast FM. It's on YouTube. You'll be shocked. The question a lady asked me, that's not where I'm going today, but it still comes to the fact that if you are not raising or training your male child or your boy child well, one woman will suffer it. A lady will come into that relationship like a goat who has gone to a slaughterhouse. I look at the way some boys, they call themselves men, guys, the way they behave, and it's like, God, one woman, innocent woman, will become a victim of this person's error. Take it or leave it. They will say they want to get married. And I kept insisting, shouting, premarital counseling is like, what is she saying? What are they saying? You go to school, you spend 10 years, some in medicine, even when they graduate, they serve, they're still reading. They can't stop reading, studying medicine. They can't stop reading, studying law. Except you just want to be stuck and do other things. Even any vocation you choose, leaders are readers. You kept reading. You have to be reading. Now, for 4 years, let me assume, okay, you went to school, 5 years, you served 6 years, thereabouts. You are now given a certificate that you're going to spend the rest of your life, the remaining part of your life, you are given a certificate without going to school. What happens? You can't figure it out. It's confusing. Now, you are raising your kids in a way that when they now become an adult, they will now become a problem to the society, to the woman. Now, it's not just to the society or to the woman. They will have children in that same system and hand over the baton to those children. It's scary. So listen to me today. Everyone, especially if you have a male child, a boy child, put yourself together and embrace yourself and tell yourself, my parents didn't do it well. My father was wrong. My mother was wrong or is still wrong. But for me, I am changing the narrative. This has to do with the foundation. I'm so concerned about the foundation that I believe so much that if the foundation is solid, whatever happens, a wise man builds his house on the rock, the foolish on the sand. The wind came and blew the two vehemently. One was able to stand because the foundation is solid. That's why I did not say raising your male child. I said boy. I'm very intentional. Boy child. The foundation matters. If the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? It's going to be tough. So we are all going back to the foundation. We're going back to the basis. We are making us to remove the myth, the set mind, the impression that we have about, is my son, is a male child. Let's go out. Girl stays in the kitchen. Let's go out. Girls mops the floor. Let's go out. Girls does the chores. Let's go out. And the guy, your boy child, goes with an impression that boys don't do anything. So you not push them to the world of hustle. I'm coming to that. You not push them to the world of guys have to hustle. Guy goes make money. These things are very important. If you don't provide for your family, you are worse than an infidel. I understand that 100,000%. I know that is right. That is for sure. But one thing that is sure is life is about balance. Everything has to be on point. If a part of your life is not balanced, it will affect every other thing. Children, your children, that's your boy child, must know that discipline and boundaries is part of life. But you know what? You can't give what you don't have. Somebody said, I say that often, it's a proverb. If you're going to give me a cloth, I will look at the one you're wearing. I changed my slogan. If you're going to give me a cloth, I will check your wardrobe if you do not borrow that clothes to party. You cannot give what you don't have. That is why I said, every man who is a father, put on your thinking cap and start changing your sex mind. Remove the myth, the culture that the tradition and even religion has put on us. Or else we are seated on a bomb that is about to explode. That is why it's going to be easy. Recently, one of the things, let me tell you, the second thing that brought me on this point. One guy, Sheyawulo, in Big Brother Niger, made a statement, whether under influence or whatever. He said he would train his sons he would give them money and buy cars for them to be having, let me be simple, and be modest, to be having carnal knowledge with somebody else's daughters. Said it in a public place where the world. Now, I said if you are going to give me a clue, I will look at the one you're wearing. I've changed my slogan. I will check your wardrobe if you do not borrow that clothes to party. You can't give what you don't have. You cannot. This guy speaking, just think, picture his life. I know how many women he would have donated, you know what I mean, spermatozoa to, and the impact and the effect of that set mind on the children. You are blaming the society. You are blaming our culture. You are blaming everybody. You are not blaming the foundation of every child, how they are trained. If a man of that kind of influence has so much moral decadence to open his mouth in a public place and said he would train his sons, give them money, buy them good cars, he mentioned Mercedes-Benz, and make sure that they are having carnal knowledge of people's daughters. Like I said, I want us to take questions, let's interact, let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. I'm bringing this out because a child that is not trained now, I don't want to talk about children, a boy, I'm focusing on a boy child. I'm doing girl child too, boy child. This particular aspect of training our male children was never a point that people ponder over. Recently, one of my sons came to me and said, "Ma, we're having a program, technology, business, events, making money, hustle." And I asked him, "What about relationship?" Nothing. No relationship. So how do you now be a good businessman and not have a good relationship? I always look at the end of everything. If I'm a now person, I won't be here today. I look at the consequences, the effect of whatever happens to people. I've seen people that have great potentials, but because they cannot hold themselves together, not their fault. Listen to me. I've said it before, your kids are your fault. Please take that responsibility and stop, giving alibi and passing unnecessary comments and, trying to not take responsibility for whatever is happening to your kids. Your kids are your own fault. If this guy, of course, people pulled him out, called him out, and people really reacted to that statement. And you know what? This is a pattern, it's a set mind. Because he said his own out, you know how many men who are supposed to be a role model to their sons and their daughters, because such daddies and fathers, I don't want to talk about mothers now, have not set that standard. There's no discipline, there's no boundaries in your own life as a father. You cannot tell your son not to do what you are doing. You got drunk or bought bottles of alcohol to the house, and your kids are jumping around playing. When your visitors are gone, they pack the bottles to the whatever, to the carton or the laundry or the storage or the store. And some of them, you won't be there. The little leftovers in the bottle of alcohol, they start to sip it in. Because your visitors came in the night, you don't even know they are drunk, because definitely a little percent of alcohol makes your kids tipsy and go to bed. That is it. Just picture what I'm saying by modeling, by training, practically by example. This is tonight's topic. Training your boy child by example. Leadership by example. If you do that to them, you have a mouth, you have the guts to caution them and tell them, you didn't get it here, you can't try it here. I've seen men that they have lowered their moral standard in a way that if they caught their son raped a lady, they can't talk, because they are also rapists themselves. And that is scary. That tells you something, that if you can't model it, you can't be a voice there, you cannot live the standard, the disciplined life. If you can't do that, then it's going to be difficult for you to train your boy child. Please get it to your heart. Get it to your heart. Training kids is practical. You will hear some children say, my dad didn't do that. My mom didn't do that. You cheated on your wife. And you are telling your daughter, your son, why are you doing this to your wife? You won't talk. As a matter of fact, you will call him behind and tell him, don't worry, it's okay. Now, you are saying it's okay because you don't know the implications or what complication that will bring to you as a father. Let me put it this way. We are living in a generation now that nobody takes nonsense anymore. In our days, we have culture, we have tradition, we have religion that curbs us, cautioned us, handcuffed us, handcuffed the people in their maybe 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. There are things they don't do because they know that shame, stigmatization, people will talk, people can, you're divorced, you're fighting all the time. Neighbors are coming to say, what's going on, calm down, chill. Nobody would want anybody to do that when we were growing up. So we mop everything in. I'm talking about my age mates. We hold the shame, bottle everything inside, camouflage, or camouflage. We put everything there. We don't allow anybody to see or know what is going on with us or what is happening to us. But we are living in a generation that if anything happens, it comes to the public place. Multiple times I've seen things on social media, like, sometimes I cringed, sometimes I shake my head. Please, if you want to come live with me, let me know. Just let us send a request and let me know you are coming alive so that we can be interactive here. If you are coming live. Now, but these days, what we condoned, what we allowed, the things that we were able to manage, I'm talking about my age mates, 60, 70, 50, 40. You can't try that with the, well, maybe a little bit of 30s, but the 20s, this generation, you can't. The implication of what I'm saying by not laying a good example is clear. If you think that your wife or your mother took that in for your father, the child that you are training, the boy child you are training now, true and fact, no woman will take that for any male, any man in this generation. Because in this generation, babies are giving birth to babies. So babies are growing in the hand of babies. Men and women that are not emotionally intelligent. They don't have what it takes to manage crises, to handle issues. So, boom, everybody throw their various tantrums the moment there's a challenge. And that is scary. That is worrisome. So training your boy child must be intentional now. You must be deliberate. I'm laying a foundation. We're going to be building on it. I'm going to be very practical on how to train a male child, how to be comfortable, how for a male child to be comfortable in their skin and be responsible, having an all-round training, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, even financially, balanced life. We're going to get there. But now, just know that it's a lot of work and it's a lot of it takes a lot of discipline to have your male child or your boy child to become your dream child, your dream son. Somebody wants to, you want to join me? Okay, let me take, how do you see? What's the name? Okay. I think he's here. Okay. Want to join? Have you found it? Please, what's your name? Let me have your name so that I can put it on the screen and we can invite you to join. If you want to join, please just type your name while I continue. So we are talking about leadership by example. Know that you need to be disciplined. You can't give what you don't have. Discipline is vital. Boundaries are set. Let me know if you want to join. Just write your name. You set a healthy boundaries. You don't teach your children to be macho alone. Boys don't do that. Boys does that. This is how boys behave. You make them, I'm not saying, people think, ask questions. A question just came to my mind now. If I make my son, my boy child, to get used to chores or something, am I not domesticating that child? You are not. You are making that child to understand the fact that he has to be responsible at home. Domesticate your child, no. If the child will not eat, then it's fine. If you will not wash, if you don't wear clothes that will be dirty for washing, it's fine. But as long as that's your male child, or your boy child does things, chores, eats, clothes, then he has to do the chores and wash the dishes and clean the table and do the needful. Please get that myth off your mind that your male child or your boy child is being domesticated by making that child to be responsible at home. Being responsible is what I am talking about here. If you set that wrong standard because of your belief system, tradition, men has to be this, men has to be that. If you keep that and you allow your son to get that into his subconscious mind, just know that you are breeding a rebel. You are breeding a child that will not be able to stand the test of the next generation. You took it, you got that from your dad. One. Your mother condoled it. You did that to your wife. Your wife is condoling that. The generation of your children will not condole it. They will not. It's not possible. Forget it. Meaning that if you are privileged to be alive, when your boy child becomes an adult and gets married, the child will come to you and say, Dad or Mom, you are not fair on me. I can't do this because I was not trained, I was not tutored, I was not nurtured to do that. And that will be unfair. That will be unfair on your boy child. So understand that there are things you don't do. That's my thought for today. There are things you don't do. There are actions and attitude you don't display before your boy child. Shout, you yell, you curse, you make statements that are morally wrong. One day, your male child, your boy child will open his mouth and call somebody, talk to the teacher, talk to the neighbors, and you stupid. Pardon me to use that word. Are you crazy? Are you mad? I'm sure I'm not supposed to say that. You will hear that word, you'll be so shocked. And flogging that boy is wickedness on your part. Flogging that boy is not fair. You are the one that is not emotionally matured enough to train that child, to tutor that child, and lead that child in the right path. So if you begin to see, I'm intentional about boy child. I didn't want to talk to adults. I'm thinking of helping this new generation to raise their children well, because there is a problem already. If a man who is supposed to be a model, somebody said he was drunk, he was under the influence, whatever. Under the influence, not under the influence, he has kids. And he said it openly to the public world that he's going to train his sons, give them money, buy them cars, to start. The word is used, I can't use it here. It's morally wrong for me to open my mouth and use that same word in this place. Do that and sleep with your daughters. A man the pilot, the captain, the driver. That tells you something. If we don't correct this and we don't address this, if people that are supposed to be a standard, a model, a teacher, a trainer, kept reducing, lowering the standards, there's nothing the children will do. The day you open your ears and you hear your song, say exact word you are saying at home to people, to your subject, to your subordinate, you'll be shocked. Please don't ask who said that to you. Your children Xerox you. It's a hard truth tonight, or this morning, or this afternoon, depending on the time. But the truth is, you can't do anything against the truth, but for the truth. Lies can go for 200 years. Truth will meet it one day. My sincere plea for every parent hearing me today, wanting and willing and wishing to train their male child, is, I agree that you've made mistakes. I agree that there had been one error or the other, but you need to put yourself together and start a new life, taking a new leave, telling yourself, now I know. You have to be conscious, you have to be intentional. When you see your children around you, male and female, especially your boy child, because those ones, your father is your hero. I've written several books. One of them is Love Notes to Fathers. Every male child, your father is your hero. People dog their dad like Xerox. They photocopy their dad. That's why when you see children that the father figure is not there, is another challenge on its own. I'm still going to have a time for single parents and widows that are raising their children alone. But as far as this is concerned, I'm so burdened to let people know that things that people are not talking about, you may not be talking about it, but the voice of those things are very loud and they are vocal. You don't talk about it, but the voice is loud. The voice is loud. The voices are very loud. Training your boy child is hard work. As a matter of fact, parenting is hard work. And sincerely, you work on it till you get into your grave. And please, what you have to correct it. Be intentional about it. If you have to apologize for some statements you have made, you say, son, you just said somebody is crazy right now. You just said somebody is stupid now. Oh, I said it. So you picked it. I am sorry. Dad is not supposed to say that. I dropped my car for you. If you are humble enough to train your boy child, I said, no, that's a slip. I don't have to say that. That's wrong of me. Wow. I should give you, I'm dropping my cap once again. I will celebrate you for life. Meaning that you are humble enough to tell yourself, to tell everybody around you that you are a man that takes responsibility. That's a training on its own. Your child will forever respect you, appreciate you, love you, and make references to that statement. Because let me round up with this. The best asset, the greatest asset you can give to your children is your words, your lifestyle, how you live. If you build a mansion for them, the mansion might be out of vogue by the time they are grown up. But if you train them, if you say things to them, if you add value to them, they will keep making references to such values, such statements, and those powerful truths that you disseminated to their soul, and they will love you for life. Thank you so much for being part of this. It's just 1 hour. We're not going to exceed that. Send me a DM, ask your questions, bring your observation, let me hear your comment, and let's see if it's worth the time and sacrifice. Today is a lot of sacrifice for me. It has to be done because I want to remain a voice in this light. Thank you so much for watching and for listening.